Water and food. What may seem like two completely different concepts are in fact inextricably linked. Today, we're going to take a look at this link and its associated consequences to Australia's water resources. We'll then take a look at how science and technology are helping to improve the problem. But before we begin, let's take a look at just how much water is really in our food. Food is an essential part of our lives, as without it, we could not survive. Yet to produce food involves a great deal of water. Take this burger for instance. If we take a closer look at the burger, we can see that there's a meat patty, lettuce, tomato, and cheese in between two slices of bread.
To produce each part of the burger requires water. In fact, to produce this burger requires a whopping 3,500 litres of water, enough to fill a small water tank. This water comes from the irrigation of plants to produce lettuce, tomato, and wheat for bread. It comes from the water a cow needs over its lifetime, as well as the water it needs for its food to produce the beef patty. There's also the water required for a cow to produce milk that ultimately becomes the cheese.
So as we can see, what we eat has a huge impact on how much water we consume. But is that really a problem? Is there enough water? What you see in front of me is a comparison of the annual amount of rainfall in various countries. As you can see, Australia has very little. Now let's compare with how much water each country consumes per person. Australians are one of the largest users of water per person in the world, despite having very little water. Statistics show that we are already consuming over 80% of our available water supplies, yet our demand continues to grow, with our population expected to rise by 60% in the next 30 years. We also have the problems of climate change and pollution, which further threaten our available water resources. Unless we do something about it, there just won't be enough water to go around. So what are we going to do about it?
Like with all big problems that affect our lives, science and technology is never too far behind. Scientists know two main things about this problem. One, that people's diets aren't changing, and two, that we've just about used up all our available water resources. This leaves us with just one option. We need to be more efficient with what we have. Traditional thinking in farming was the more you put in, the more you got out. So more water meant more crops. However, this is not only inefficient, but not always the case. Precision farming aims to address this issue by providing farmers with information on how much water their crops need, using sensors in the soil that track things such as soil moisture. This means farmers can target the amount of water their plants require according to the plant's needs. In effect, less water can be used to produce the same amount of crop.
Despite living in a country where water is scarce, Australians tend not to consider the impact of water use and how what we eat also influences water scarcity. Although new technologies are being introduced, maybe it's time we also reflect on what we eat to help reduce our impact. Because after all, not only is water something we drink, but something we eat.